sees you. Nobody will believe you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing amazing. Get ready to get started. There we go. All right, let's get this background changed. So many things going on. How are you this morning? I hope today has you filled with joy and excitement. There we go. All right. So, what are you doing this morning? Get this over here. You get live on Instagram. Hey, good morning, YouTube. It's good to see everybody. But God only knows. All right. Hey, question for you this morning before we go into live Q&A is, how do you set your pace? What are you using to set your pace? That's the challenge. That's the challenge. Good morning, Kovacs. I'm sure I'm saying that right. Good, or possibly not right. The question is, where is your pace setting? Who is your pace setting car? Right? In every race, most races, at least race car races, NASCAR races, they have a pace car. They set the pace so nobody can jump out ahead and everybody gets warmed up, going around the track, warming up their tires, doing everything. Who's setting your pace? And the question is when does your pace begin? When does the start of your race begin? Every morning, the second you become consciously aware of your day. How long is it? This is a question when I ask my private students, I'll ask them a question every morning. How fast did you get into action? Think about that for a second. Yesterday, day before, last week, on average, if I were to ask you, how long does it take for you to get into action? And I'm not talking about walking to the bathroom. I'm talking about getting into action, activating your brain and moving your brain into processes, into solutions to take care of your goals. Most people, it's not until they get to work. Now you're starting to think about work, but I'm talking about problem solving. I'm talking about solution creation. Not how many emails do you have to do. Responding to an email is not setting the pace. That's becoming busy to solve something that maybe isn't a highest priority. See, in the morning when you're in your own space and in your own time, if you want to understand some of the secrets of massive success, that's the question. Do you understand the rules of massive success, or do you understand the rules of incremental success? You're playing the game. You're setting the pace for incremental success. What happens when you understand the rules for massive success, leveraged success? Does that even make sense to your brain? Do you understand what massive success would look like? It's called quantum leaping. It's called quantum leaping. It's going from this point to this point without crossing the space in between. Here, I'll prove it to you. You want to understand how you can quantum leap? I'll prove it to you right now that you are capable of quantum leaps. Here we go. Think of your first kiss. Some of you are starting to giggle. The women are starting to think of and really laugh because maybe their first kiss was with a St. Bernard. Right? Some guy who thinks I am Don Juan incarnate. And they weren't. My point is this, is that probably wasn't yesterday. Now, I do have some young folks on my calls. For some of them, it might have been yesterday, but I don't think so. I don't think so. So, see how fast you went back to the quantum leap? Doug Starr in the house. Now, if the law of polarity, if you read Science of Getting Rich and you understand the universal laws, there's 7 basic universal laws, and one of them is the law of polarity. And the law of polarity says that if you're 5,000 miles away from me, I have to be 5,000 miles away from you. If you're 2 miles away from me, I have to be 2 miles away from you. So when you understand that, if you just went back 10 years, 15 years, 20 years with a blink of an eye, you also have the polarity ability to go forward 10 years, 2 decades, 3 decades, and throw out the idea of what you want pulled from the universe through law of attraction. See, law of attraction is working for you right now. Setting the pace. You are setting your personal pace right now. Can you think bigger? Can you become more focused? Can you suck in more of this moment right now? Can you feel the chair that you're in? Can you feel the clothes on your body? Can you feel the comforter that's covering your body if you're still in bed? Can you see the road all around you? Can you hear the sound of the cars passing if you're driving? Can you just become more attuned to this moment? Anybody want to guess how many bits of information come into your body per second? Per second. Per second. Per sec. It will blow your mind away. How many bits of information do you think your body takes in per second in your entire body? Not just your eyes. Let me give you a clue. Let me see if I can't warm you up with this. Your eyes can take in 2 million bits of information per eye per second. 2 million bits of information per eye per second. What do you think the rest of your body does? See, and if we're wired, listen, if you have a tendency, listen carefully. Here's why your pace may be a little slow. Here's why your pace may be a little lethargic. Did he just use a big word? Yes, I did use a big word. I know it, the word lethargic. It's about 20 million bits of data per second. 20 million bits of data per second. How many of you ever been leaning back in a chair and somebody comes by and tips a chair and you flip out, right? Your body was constantly adjusting the ratio of the tip of the chair and where comfortable is and where, right? All of these things. So do you realize why your pace is a little bit slower than you'd want it to be? Because our brain is wired for two things. What's our brain wired for? Quick test. Oh, look at that. Balloons. Our brain is wired for 2 things. Will it kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern? How many of you have ever been to a restaurant and heard dishes crash off the plate, off the waiter's hands or off the tray? And there was a jump. Everybody jumped. But you instantly, as soon as you heard it, you recognize those are dishes. Those were glasses. Could you tell the difference between dishes and glasses breaking? You've never been to that restaurant before. You've never heard their dishes or glasses break. But your brain has a recording. Listen carefully how this works. Your brain has a recording that it could instantly pull up to say, will this kill me? Nope. That I've heard a sound similar to this. And then it put it into a pattern. Those are dishes breaking. Do you see why it's so important for you to control your own pace? Because your brain is looking how to protect you. Your brain is looking how to keep you safe. And this is from everything around you. And when your pattern is more habitual, meaning you're more habitized, meaning you have more habits than you have new ideas. How many of you have more habits than new ideas? Don't answer that, because If you tell me you have more new ideas than you have habits, you're lying to me. And I don't want you to lie to me. I just want you to become aware that you have more habits than you have new ideas. How do I know you have more habits than new ideas? Because you woke up on the same side of the bed. You woke up, unless of course you traveled last night and you slept someplace different. Um, you woke up, you went to the bathroom the same way. You had a morning routine. You brushed your teeth the same way. You did this, unless of course you changed the way you did all of those things. If you changed the way you did all of those things, then all of those things you started to take control of your body. See, your body has 30 trillion cells in it, and they all have memory, and they say the average cell, listen carefully, one cell in your body is equivalent to an aircraft carrier going out to war. Think of an aircraft carrier. You don't have to know the name of one, but just think one of those big ships that has all of the planes and all of the people that are on it, and all of the military folks and the captain and the people cooking and cleaning and everything else. All of that activity that's going on in an aircraft carrier preparing for war is the same thing that goes on in one of your cells. That much energy, that much effort, that much activity, and you have 30 trillion cells. You wonder why it's hard to break habits, right? Oh, it takes 21 days to break a habit or form a habit. It might, maybe to form a habit, not really, but it probably takes about 18 months. But to change one, to break one, do you know how long it takes to break a habit? You can do it instantly, right? Think of the grandfather who has the granddaughter, 5-year-old granddaughter, comes up and hugs his leg and says, Papa, please stop smoking. I don't want you to die. And he puts down 2 packs of cigarettes like that. When we attach such a high level of emotion, you want to set the pace, you want to set your pace, start realizing how little time you have left. I don't care if you have 50 years left, 100 years left. Do you know how little time that is to leave a legacy? Do you want to leave a legacy? How long? There's 2 times we die. Here's how you set the pace. You want to know why you might want to set the pace? There's 2 times we die, the day they bury us and the last time our name will ever be mentioned. What's the pace? What is your name on pace for after you die? How long will they talk about you? How long after you pass will they build a statue to you because you've had such influence in the world? How many of you are they going to build a statue to people who had 30,000, 50,000 followers on Instagram? How many of those people are getting a statue built to them? I'm going to hide behind my mic. I don't think anybody with 70,000, 300,000 people are going to get a statue built to them. I'm not saying don't use social media, but they ain't going to build a statue to you. Well, I don't want a statue built to me. Then what the hell are you doing here? Are you just here to be average, take up space? Get off the bench. What are you doing here if you're not here to leave a legacy? Think about it. Well, that's just being selfish. How's average working for you? How's delaying your freedom working for you? Just saying, you got to make some decisions, cut off. You got to cut off some old ideas. And you got to start now. You got to start now. You got to change the way you look at things. You have to get into the study of becoming rich. Not becoming wealthy, becoming rich. You have to understand leverage. You have to understand goodwill. You got to understand that you get to set the pace every morning and you get to decide how far you will go. Don't let other people's limits set your goals. Seriously, if you wanted to make 10 grand a month, you know how easy it is to make 10 grand a month? It's all up here. It's mindset. It's not activity. It's not, you got to There's so many ways to leverage income. There's so many people who need your experience. But here's the challenge. You're not setting the pace by understanding how to tell your own story. The reason nobody follows you is because you're not setting the pace, and people go, I want to go where they're going. Joseph McClendon III, neuroencoding training specialist. Joseph McClendon III says, how many people sit in your audience go, I want some of that. I want some of that. Do they say that? Do they say that when they're in your audience? That's my conversation. I could go on with this for much longer than it needs to be. So I appreciate you this morning, Instagram. I hope you have, and YouTube. I love you tons. I appreciate you. I hope you having a fantastic day. Set the pace. I'm going to go have some conversations with my VIP group, my Zoom group, if you will, the mental toughness group. You can join us. You can join us at www.unlearnme.live. Not the other one, .live. Join us there. You can set up your free account. There's lots of information and resources over there. I love you tons. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Bye for now. And YouTube, thanks for all of your follows and all of your comments. I will see you where? I'll see